So yeah, going off Louisville's team. Yeah, I think Louisville has a chance. The women's team has a chance to win this year. South Carolina is a tough team as well. Honestly, I can't tell you the other two teams right now. I'll look for it. But basketball for women is pretty interesting too. They compete over there.
Yeah, I'm glad you decided to include women's basketball because, as I've told you many times before, they can shoot the lights out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch a lot of women's basketball. I will admit, but when I do watch it, all the girls can shoot, all of them. So, yeah, you can throw your women's basketball nugget in. That's okay. That's cool. I mean, you're too busy looking at the players to watch any games, but you gonna throw that in.
I mean, yeah, that's probably true. But I mean, if you play basketball and you're attractive, then hey, that's 2 pluses for me.
Yeah.
So, hey, a couple of players from South Carolina, a couple of players from Louisville. So, hey, by all means. Yeah, that's all I got on college basketball so far. I'm gonna turn it over. You got anything else? You got anything else for college basketball?
No, not college basketball.
Well, we'll probably get into it next weekend after the results of the championship. Maybe. I don't know when championship will be. I'll find out.
Probably on Monday. After the Saturday games, and they get right to it. It reminds me of college football.
Oh, okay.
I think they do it on
Is it a week
Monday.
after?
Is that far
It
after?
should be a week after.
Oh,
I believe.
well, either way. Well, with the playoffs now, so
Yeah.
it's maybe different. But college basketball, you can't wait a week and then let them play. That's too long. So I'm sure it's going to be 1 or 2 days after.
Actually, maybe not. I saw, they re-signed, they gave your boy a contract extension. Your favorite manager.
I saw that Dave Roberts. It was 3 years, a 3-year extension. I was like, man, that's.
That was funny.
He's. I think I saw somebody say, it wasn't Twitter, so it was like one of the little sports things I read, the athletics. But someone said that he is the most overrated, and he's the most overrated manager, and the most. Well, the fact that he guaranteed a World Series this year.
That's what I was gonna say after. I was gonna say after that. Yeah, I saw he put on somebody's podcast or something saying Rodgers is going to win the World Series this year.
Dave Roberts doesn't play. Like he doesn't even. I don't know. Like a manager in baseball, to me, I'm not gonna say it's irrelevant. I mean, you do make moves or put people in at certain times. Certain pitchers against, but it's all analytics as far as the pitchers go. Like, okay, I'm gonna put a lefty against this. I'm gonna put this lefty against this lefty. I'm gonna put this righty against. Like, my thing is if I'm a good pitcher, they go off. It's nothing. It's all numbers basically. So, and Dave Roberts still can't get the numbers right. Like, I don't know. I was so disappointed to see that. Not that I just hate him so much, but.
Putting the pressure on the team.
I don't like him. He's not one of my favorite managers. I don't have a favorite manager, but he's not it. If there was one, my favorite team, but nah. I don't even. I knew you'd bring that up. That's why I didn't even. I said I wasn't gonna mention it or think about it or say anything about it.
Yeah, it was just funny to see how much you like him. So.
But you actually forgot to, I mean, not to switch from baseball, we'll get back to that, but as far as Tyreek Hill getting traded from the Chiefs. So
that surprised me a lot. I mean, but they said they made a tweet a couple of days, or the day of he got traded. He put on Twitter something about Kansas City, I'm always ride with you, appreciate all the fans and all the love. He posted that I think it said 11 days before he got traded. So I feel like they let him know
that was about the money. I mean, it's obvious for both of them, for him and for the team. The team, they didn't want to pay a receiver $30 million. You already paying Mahomes. Kelsey doesn't make a bunch of money, but you have to pay other players. Like I said, KC has unlimited money, but no, I'm sorry. The Rams have unlimited money. KC has almost unlimited money, obviously. But so, well, it was for 4 years. Forget about the number. I mean, the amount. Miami traded a first-round pick this year, a second-round pick this year. The first-round pick was the Niners pick for Trey Lance, number 29. A fourth-round pick. Once they start getting it after thirds, not that you can't find players, but the picks are starting not being worth it for this type of player. And then next year's fourth round and next year's sixth round. The compensation means nothing as far as the picks, but 4 years, $120 million. So that's 30 a year.
It has $70 million guaranteed.
72.
72 guaranteed.
And he had a $50 million signing bonus, something like that.
Would you have traded Travis Kelce first? Wouldn't you have traded Travis Kelce first? I mean, he's not asking for an extension, so I feel like that's why they did trade Tyreek Hill. Or he's not asking for much money. But
no,
Tyreek Hill is what?
Kelce still. I'm not saying Tyreek is not. He's the top 5 receiver, but Kelce is still a top 3 tight end. Even if you got him at 3 or if you got him at 2,
It's the age.
he's there. Yeah, the age.
They're like 5. It's a 5-year difference there.
Correct. I mean, when I saw the trade, I was shocked by the trade, but then I looked at the money. And I think that's what confuses a lot of people. Not saying others don't know about sports contracts, but they look at 4 years, $120 million, and automatically say, "Oh, dude, making $30 million a year."
No,
he's not making $30 million a year.
Those are incentives.
Yeah, if he has to play the 4 years to get that money. And he has some bonuses for Pro Bowl and stuff like that. That's different from this contract. It's added in as a bonus if he gets it. But they look at that, like you said already, $72 million. 4 years, $72 million. That's
the real contract.
That's the contract. And the $50 million, he got $50 million in his pocket as soon as he signed. So either it doesn't matter what he does from now on, he already got $50 million. So basically, you get 50 for signing. And 72, that's where the other money comes in at. So if you look at 4 years, $72 million, if you just say that, he's making $15 million a year. But that's, like I said, people who automatically see the contract think, oh, he's making $120 million. The thing is, football contracts are not guaranteed. They can cut you. Right. They can cut him next year if he does. Like, let's say he sucked real bad, which he won't. They'll cut him. Then you got 4 years. Basically, you got $50 million. But that's why people don't cut them so fast, because they give you that $50 million. No, we're not cutting you right now. If we cut you, we'll cut you after 2 years maybe. And whereas it looks like 25 per year. But all that to say that my cousin, he lives in Miami. He loves the Dolphins to death. So he sent me a text saying, Tyreek, basically. I said, oh, great. You got Tyreek now. Now all you need is a quarterback. Because that's all because Tua, we're talking about Tua every podcast. Tua is not, he's not the one, man. I don't think he's the one. But when you have great receivers, then maybe things are different. You can do different, you look decent. But look at the team he has around him. He has nothing but speed. The thing is, Tua's going to throw the ball 5 yards, and they're going to run for 85, and people will be like, dang, Tua. No, Tua didn't do anything. All he did, I could have thrown it to Tyreek or handed it to Mostert and let him run track speed. That's gonna hurt you. Yeah, I hate it if he stays healthy. But so yeah, Tua, no Tua. Tua's weak to me.
Well, they said it's no excuse now. Tua doesn't produce.
He's got Gesicki. He's a good tight end.
Yeah, he's loaded on offense now. So
and listen, Waddle is super fast. I mean, that's like a track team.
They got Will Fuller over there, too.
I think they'll let him. I think he's a free agent. And I think, other teams. Well, no. He may not be a free agent, but teams are looking to trade for him. They got a team.
Their defense. Yeah, I don't know about their defense like that. They were better last year. They lost a lot of pieces last year.
But I'll just say this to you about Miami. Yeah, they loaded up. They went. They got a left tackle also.
They still got the Bills in their division.
But that's what I was gonna say. You say what you want about them. Yeah, they loaded up, but
still got the Bills.
That AFC is a monster.
And Bill Belichick.
AFC is a monster, and you have the worst quarterback out of all the teams in there. You think about if we name a bunch of teams, they still have the worst quarterback. Even if Tua has a good season, he's still not going to be as good as Josh Allen, Mahomes, Herbert, Lamar, like Joe Burrow. Like you still have like out of 16 teams, your quarterback is number 14. 5, yeah. And I'm being nice because I can't even think of two quarterbacks that he's better than.
Exactly.
That's a rookie. We don't even count them. They like and Trevor Lawrence, like they're rookies. So
you better than Ryan
Tannehill, man, that's yes. No, he's not better than Tannehill. Tannehill's a better player. He's a better player than Tua. So I guess we'll see how that goes. I mean, I know that got kind of lengthy talking about Tua and the Dolphins, but Tyreek going over there was, and you see what KC did after letting Tyreek go.
Signed Juju to a 1-year deal.
And Scantling,
Scantling, yeah, saw that.
For 3 years, $30 million.
Could have paid, guaranteed that to Tyreek Hill. That's just
3 years, $30 million for.
Come
on, man.
Well, that's Aaron Rodgers making him look good.
3 years, $30 million.
He's fast. It's kind of fast for him to be that big.
Actually, he's always open deep for some reason, but so I guess he is fast. But $30 million for him, that's almost like whatever.
You know, it's not guaranteed. Guaranteed.
No, but I know. I just talked about the guarantees, but anything. But just to see the numbers on him, that was enough for me. But I guess $10 million is not a lot for a receiver if you think he's going to be good in your system. So he's always hurt too. Dude, always hurt. He sit out games. What other one I got for you? Fournette, we signed with Tampa.
You know he wasn't going nowhere with Tom Brady.
Yeah, as soon as Brady got back. Hey, speaking of Brady, that's why speaking of Brady, the difference between Brady and Aaron Rodgers, Brady takes pay cuts to get players, to re-sign players and to add to
the same team.
Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers knew, he knew if I take all of this money,
there's no way we could re-sign Devontae.
So I don't want to hear him complain about anything. I don't have any receivers give me some help. I don't want to hear you say anything because you took the money knowing that they won't be able to re-sign him. And they said Devontae Adams is like, he's not your typical, like, I'm going to go out and hang kind of guy. He's like more like a family guy. Likes to stay home and hang out and work out and kind of, he's a playbook guy. I'm going in the playbook tonight all night. So he doesn't hang out like that. And from he and Aaron Rodgers' relationship on the field is great, but they said off the field, he's not really into hanging out. So Rodgers, they don't really have much communication off the field.
It's not the Tom Brady, Julian Edelman type.
So, I mean, which that doesn't mean that it's a bad relationship, but you would think, like, you would have a better relationship with your star receiver.
With how good Devontae Adams is, I would think.
Like, you would think that, that's your buddy. Like,
that's your boy.
I'm going to vouch for you. You got, So, I don't know. You take $50 million to me, that means that you don't care what happens to him.
You don't care no more, man. He won 2 MVPs.
What is MVPs? That's it. And one Super Bowl.
Yeah, one Super Bowl.
That's it. So and he's not going to get another one. He's not going to get another one. Not with the AFC, not with the AFC, not with the NFC. He can't be. They can't. I don't think they're going to win the division this year. We do this every season to each other and say Minnesota, but I just don't see how Green Bay's going to win 9 games. I'm not with the current team. I know Aaron Rodgers is great.
Somebody.
Who? Julio, he's done.
There's still a couple of players who haven't been signed. Stephon Gilmore, OBJ, Julio.
OBJ, he won't even be back. He just got hurt in the Super Bowl.
I mean, hey, Cam Akers did it. That's what everybody said.
No, Cam Akers and OBJ are not the same. OBJ is gonna make sure he's recovered before he comes. Cam Akers, he came back. He didn't do nothing. He might as well stay recovered.
They won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, they won. Correct. If it wasn't, he was trying to give it away, fumbling on the 1 yard line, the goal line, and all that. Yeah, so that game should have been a blowout, but that's whatever. No, the Tampa game that should have been a blowout. Yeah, but so yeah, Fournette came back. Jameis went back to New Orleans, 2 years, $28 million. Not much to say about that because, yeah.
I mean, they ain't got a coach over there, like you said.
Yeah. Matt Ryan traded to the Colts for a third rounder.
Oh, yeah, you were upset because weren't you just saying, oh, Jimmy to the Colts, they're desperate.
Now who's
going to take Jimmy?
I don't know.
Can't think of nobody.
Because John Lynch lied to the media and said they had 2 second-round picks. Somebody had offered 2 second-round picks. You're not going to get me to believe that. Because if they offered 2 second-round picks, you would have taken it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear that. And you knew his shoulder was messed up? I mean, he had shoulder surgery? Come on, dude. I love John Lynch. Of course, that's my team. But anybody in their right mind is not going, just because the 49ers are all about playing coy and being secretive and and all of a sudden they throw out that somebody offered 2 first-round picks. That is all like a media bait. Like they try to bait teams through the media like teams are stupid, which some are, but the last one was Mariota went to Atlanta, 2 years, $18 million.
I think they're about to start rebuilding.
Man, they are. When you sign Mariota, you rebuild. Seriously, dude. Mariota is not. He's a good backup, and look how high he was picked.
Yeah, I was about to say that. It's number 2.
But
you look at RG3.
Well, he got hurt though. He was good before he got hurt.
That was true. Yeah, he led Washington to the playoffs that one year.
And before, I don't know what it is about running quarterbacks, but they did the same thing to Trey Lance last year. Anything that has to be involved with Shanahan always scares me with a mobile quarterback because they played against Arizona last season when Trey Lance started. He ran the ball 19 times, 18 times or something. What are we doing? Why are we running a quarterback like that?
You didn't have a running back. Debo wasn't as started as ever.
Dude, it doesn't matter. You don't run your quarterback like that. Those running the quarterback Cam days are done. Nobody's doing that. Cam was like 2 times bigger than any player in college football. He was huge. So,
that's my boy.
And they ran him to death. Before he just like Cam could not. No, Cam. He actually came last year. He ran some, stealing touchdowns from McCaffrey, and I was mad about that. But Cam, your boy, he's done. Cam's done. Somebody has to get injured for Cam to be on the team. And by that time, they'd be like, oh, there's Jimmy. We'll take, that's what, we may have to release him, but I don't know what they're going to do. I wanted something back for him.
You ain't getting no 2 second-round picks.
No, that's a lie, dude. That's not true.
For the sake, I would have taken
2 second-round picks.
You get a third round, 3rd and 6th.
I'll take a 3rd and 6th right now. Actually, I don't even want your punk 6th pick. Just give me the 3rd, and next year's 5. I don't know 6th-round pick. So, yeah, I'll take a 3rd for him because we need picks anyway.
I think Washington probably might be the only team that doesn't have a set quarterback.
No, they got a quarterback. They got Carson Wentz.
You're right. I'm trying to think, is there any...
They got Carson Wentz, and they got one of the top 3 backups in football.
Taylor Heineke. Steelers?
With Mitch Trubisky?
He'll back up.
Huh?
He should be a backup.
He's a starter. They don't have anybody else on the roster. Mason Rudolph, garbage can. He's garbage. He's garbage, man. So I don't know what they're doing. I like Mitch Trubisky. I like his running better than his passing.
It's great. My brother was hot, like living. He was like, "Please tell me this is a joke." When he saw that signing, it was just hilarious.
Yeah, I like his running better than his passing. But the good thing about him is he actually can. He really can run it. He can run it. But how's that going to benefit? Like they already can. Big Ben was just a waste last year. He was just. There's nothing
money. Getting extra money in. He got like a $40 cap hit.
I think he thought that he actually, I think he thought that he still had some left, and he wasn't terrible, but he was just
below average.
Terrible. He wasn't terrible. Like it's terrible, then terrible. He was bad. So I don't know. I'm gonna start it. I'm gonna do this. Trey Lance is gonna be good. That's all I'll say. They pretending like he's not ready, just so people could be like, "Oh well, thank you for giving us Jimmy." Like no, Trey is ready. Yeah, I saw him working with IU today. He's ready.
He's starting Jimmy. Jimmy's starting.
Nah, Jimmy's not starting.
It was only if you found a trade partner for
Jimmy is not starting. Jimmy's done.
He's starting.
We'll cut him
before you start him again.
Correct. He'll get cut before they have to be forced to start him. Nah. So no Jimmy. And we'll switch off football for a second, but the Lakers stink, man. That was just.
We talking about today? Well, yeah. Oh, you had a
23-point lead, and then they scored. When I saw them, I know they scored more than that, but it was almost the end of the fourth quarter, and they scored they had 14 points, and I think they gave up 42 points in the third quarter. They stink, man. I'm so tired of them. I told you.
Yeah, 41.
I told you I don't want to see them. I don't even want them in the play-in, man. And I'm like the diehard Laker fan as you get, and it's going to be an embarrassment. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Not the play-in, because I don't know. I just feel like we match up well with teams like a Minnesota, even though we got blown out by. No, not without him. Yes, it's a problem. But let's say he comes back and he plays his usual 3 games before he gets hurt. We can actually hang with teams, but that defense is terrible, man.
You saw what Shaq said? Shaq said he thinks if y'all get that AFC, it'll be Phoenix, with Anthony Davis playing, of course.
Shaq who?
Shaq.
Oh, Shaq. Oh, I said I saw it. I couldn't remember. I didn't see when he said it, but I read that he said that. And
that's
Shaq being nice. I mean, LeBron. It doesn't matter. We could score 120 a game and still lose by 18. So that defense they're pathetic, man. And then every time LeBron goes out, it's just forget about it. Every time he goes to the bench,
But this is no AD though. This is where AD would be missed, because at least you have a threat or a lot like.
Russ had a good game.
Okay, but
Monk had a good game.
Okay, but they don't consider them actual. I'm saying.
Oh, you mean just like a threat overall?
Yeah, you'll throw the ball to every play.
AD would block a shot he'd block a shot, knock it out of bounds, and then fall on somebody's ankle. Like I could just see stuff.
Then you can predict the future.
AD, I'm done right now. I want to trade him. I told you this before. I want to trade AD. Now LeBron. The Lakers not stupid. They know if he passes Kareem next year, they're in it for the money. I mean, you're gonna be watched by everybody. You're gonna have the high ratings. You're gonna have every sold out is gonna be. You're gonna overcharge extra $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 for the tickets when people think he's gonna pass them in that next game. So yeah, game will be nationally televised. I don't care what day it's on. So they stink though. That's they'll keep LeBron for that reason, but not only that reason. I mean, look how old he is. He's still a monster.
Yeah, 19 years, 37 years.
So he's a beast. But AD, I'm ready to trade him. You gotta go. I don't care for who. I just want players that are gonna play and do what. No, I said it wrong again, because. If I say I want players that play, then you'd be like, "Oh, Russ ain't missed a game except when he sat out for a sore back." But
Looney,
who?
Don't disrespect Kevon Looney like that.
Looney what? Looney what?
I'm saying, like, you talking about players that play. Looney's played every game this year.
How do we go from AD to Looney?
I'm just saying, you talking about. I'm saying if you got a package with him James Wiseman.
And nobody wants Wiseman. He never plays. He's
Kuminga.
always man. Come on, stop it. We're not taking young players like that. Not super young.
Oh,
they're too young.
They're too young for LeBron.
Yes. Well, it's not about LeBron anymore. We're not building a team around LeBron anymore.
Why not?
We're done building a team around
So
LeBron.
who's building the team around?
No, this year they built it up, tried to whatever he wanted. But now next year, no, we done building a team around LeBron. You about to go out in a year or two.
He's gonna care about that.
You want to get traded back to Cleveland? We'll trade you back to Cleveland. Give us Garland, Mobley, Garland, Mobley, and Allen, and you can have them. There you go. No, we'll trade you back to Cleveland, buddy. You want to go home? Tell Cleveland you want to go home. Well, no, we got to leave them somebody. So just give us Mobley and Garland. Matter of fact,
you just said
we're not going.
young players.
We're not going. That's different. No, we don't want young players with LeBron.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So how about give us Mobley? Okay, they may not trade Mobley. Okay.
Stop with the Mobley and
Colin Sexton and Mobley.
They're not trading Mobley or Garland. I'll tell you that right now.
Ooh, we're not taking Allen. I like him, but no, it's too much money.
LeBron is making what? How much?
Too much money.
Okay, so Allen and Sexton again. Well, that's like $50 million.
They can't reach that contract. I'm saying they can't match it at all. So we would have to take Allen because he wasn't making what 25 or 30 million.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Lakers stink. The Warriors stink. We all in the same boat now, buddy.
No, we don't stink.
Same boat.
We're just sinking. We sink. We're sinking.
Yeah, stink.
We don't stink though. We're not blowing a 23-point lead.
No, you just losing. It's the same thing. A loss is a loss.
It's not.
Man, the Lakers been losing. That's nothing new. I told you the Warriors. They peaked too soon. Now everybody they want to blame it on injuries. Oh, he's hurt. This
Steph not hurt. That's our most important player.
Everybody's hurt. AD's our most important player.
He's always hurt.
What I'm saying as far as not most important like best player, but most important as in we need him defensively, regardless of how much I hate him. Just him being around the basket. Now people, they just run in for layups all day. So Lakers get like backpicked more than any team I've ever seen. Like I've never seen teams, all the time. And I know they're old, but there's no excuse for just terrible defense like that, man. I don't even just move on. Move on. Okay. I'm done with the Lakers.
Right, look, I haven't brought them up the last 2 times. That's not my fault. We're struggling. I thought we would have a chance to catch Memphis for that second seed, but
they don't lose many games either. They're like they like baby Phoenix. Memphis wins without
John Morant, like it's nothing. Like they got a good team.
They constructed their team well because I thought when they gave up Valanciunas that was a mistake. But Steven Adams fits them well because he's the defensive presence and he's strong in there and he's immovable on the post. You see how big he is?
7 feet.
Man. He's like dude's a monster. He reminds me of like Conan or somebody. You can't move him in the post.
He's the strongest. People have said he's the strongest player in the league.
They post him up and he does not move. I've seen players try to back him down and he's just right there like I ain't going nowhere. Like he's so big. So
like Kyrie, huh?
But yeah, he fits him.
They grit and grind out. I mean, up in Memphis, they've been doing that for years. That's their whole system. So
yeah, and they have ascending players. Everybody's improved. It seems like Memphis every year. Every year they have a rookie or a player first year. The second year that player makes a jump. Bane.
He should be in the finalists.
Jaren Jackson Jr. made a jump this year.
He was hurt last year.
Yeah, I'm saying this year he made a jump from the rookie season because defensively he's in the top 20 of defensive players in the league. I'm not saying like as far as like man on man to stop you, but I'm just saying how from the stats. Mm-hmm. And then when I do watch him, he plays good defense. So. And Melton's coming off the bench now.
Melton getting like 4 steals a game.
They're playing well.
Loaded over there, man. I don't want to see them in the playoffs in the same.
No, I want y'all to play them. Y'all go. Yeah, they can't. Y'all can't beat Memphis. You know that. There's something
I
about them.
We struggle with it. We've been struggling even when they didn't even like Desmond Bain last year, killing us. John Morant, same thing. In the play-in, we couldn't stop them.
Now the good thing is you don't have Valanciunas anymore. He would eat them. He would eat Golden State up.
Because
he'd be going like 11 out of 14, and like 12 out of 15,
and he'd be making all them. He could shoot.
Yeah,
we can't handle shooting bigs because we're small already, so we rely on help defense. Primarily Draymond, he's usually guarding the biggest player, or Looney, you can say. And if we don't have one of them out in the paint, if it's a shooting big on the outside, we're done. So,
how would you feel if your team wasn't able to handle bigs, point guards, shooting guards, power forwards, small forwards, coaches, backups?
You referring to the Lakers?
Yeah. No. I just asked the question, but yeah,
okay. So speaking of, so we're third in the standings. If the playoffs started today, we would play Denver. I don't even want to see them.
Yeah, the Joker is.
If the playoffs started today, he would be playing.
The Joker he would average 35 against y'all. That's for sure. He averaged 35. No, he averaged 39. Guaranteed.
If the playoffs started today, you'd be playing Minnesota.
If the playoffs started today, matter of fact, playoffs starts. I don't even know if they're gonna make the play-in, man. I told you last week, dude. I don't.
Well, San Antonio went. San Antonio's last games. They played Portland twice.
Yeah, we said it last week.
The Kings.
I think I gave you the schedule last podcast, and
the Grizzlies, the Rockets, and the Portland twice, the Nuggets, Timberwolves, us, and the Mavericks.
The last games may be able to save the Lakers because the last haul is it depends actually. If teams already clinched, Luka's not playing.
If we clinched that, we're sitting on team 2.
Yeah, so they may just slide on in.
Y'all got
I don't even talk about our schedule, dude. Matter of fact, it doesn't even matter who we play. It doesn't matter because
y'all got the Mavericks, Utah.
We beat Utah.
Pelicans again. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. Next game doesn't matter against Pelicans. They already took the season series.
Well, the Lakers still need to win. They're getting chased like somebody
San Antonio,
trying to chase them down. Yeah, so.
The Pelicans, Nuggets, Suns, us, OKC, and the Nuggets again.
The Nuggets will be resting in that last game. And we'll beat y'all.
Yeah, we'll see about that. That's at home.
OKC.
Steph
the way LeBron is scoring, OKC can't beat the Lakers. There is no way they beat them this time.
Unless LeBron sits out, of course.
Why sit out? You doing all this scoring? What you sitting out for?
Come
and play the game, man.
He just sat out like 2 games ago?
Against Philly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess he didn't want to get thibbled up. Nah, LeBron, and look, you got to do some kind of management with him. You just can't put him out and play on 40 minutes a game. Frank Vogel rarely takes him out of the game. The only time LeBron comes out of the game is when he does this. And then Frank will take him out. Or when it's the end of the quarter or something.
You need him in a game to try to win.
You can't play on 40 minutes a game.
Well, you need him in the game as much as possible. How you gonna get in the play-in if you don't play him?
I don't care about playing, man. I barely want to see this team play regular season games. It stinks, man. I've never been more disappointed with a Laker team ever. All these years, never.
You went on a whole rant last year. I remember you called me last year, gave me like a whole 30-minute lecture. He was like, all right, here I go. When they lost to Phoenix last year in the first round, you were talking about KCP, Caruso. You said Caruso all of a sudden is getting hurt, KCP, this and that. You just went on a whole 30-minute rant on the phone. I wish I still had that conversation because I was laughing so hard.
Yeah, but still, I wasn't as disappointed as I am with this team. They're.
Can't wait
this is the most disappointing season as a Laker fan in 30 years. And you know the Lakers have had bad teams. They've had bad teams before. Mm-hmm. The Sedale Threats and all these guys that real Laker fans remember, like they sucked. No, Sedale didn't suck, but I'm just saying those were the sucky teams. But this team, man, I remember when Cedric Sabalas was our best player.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember the Kendall Marshall days. That's one of my favorite players of all time. So
Yeah, those teams sucked too. But Kendall Marshall was the point. I liked him because he was a pass first guard, but
he averaged like 8 points, 9 assists with a basket.
He was a pass first guard. He was okay. They sucked. The Kobe teams, when Kobe got the injured Kobe teams, the last Kobe years sucked. They sucked. But the bad thing is they were exciting to watch though. Kobe was still exciting to watch. And I don't care if he took like 60 shots. We loved it. Kobe, take 61. As we said, like that's the only way we're gonna win. But
it's like you got to go on the whole little. What's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word. You got to go on the whole little.
A whole little. Restart this team. Push the reset button. That's what we need to do. AD needs to go, man. Somebody will take him. The Hornets are taking.
No, they're not taking.
We go over to the worst GM and we ask him. We go over to the worst GM and we ask him, hey, the thing is,
they're not trading. They're building something over there too.
Well, the reason they're building is because of their point guard. If you hit the jackpot on the point, LaMelo, he just makes the other players better.
Yeah, that was forever.
He shoots a lot.
That was forever.
But he's still a pass first point.
Yeah, that was forever, homie. I told you. We had him right there, and we picked the best year in my opinion, to be hurt.
I think he wanted to come to Golden State.
Really?
Yeah.
Nah,
I do.
He knew he was. LeVar didn't want that.
No, nobody cares about LeVar. We talking about LeVar always got something to say. I'm talking about LaMelo. He would have been like, oh yeah, to play with these guys and come out there and I can shoot 23s a game.
Ooh, I would have loved it, man.
So
we could have got a Daniel Gafford.
I told you I didn't like the Wiseman pick.
I was hot, man. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but he's already shown me why he's a bad. I told you. But outside of Kuminga's really good.
You should have took Sengun too.
I like Moses Moody. He's shown that he's
all right. He's all right, but is he gonna play?
Not right now. It's for the future.
Steve, how long you gonna put him on the bench? Steve Kerr, what do you have to wait?
It's for the future. He's been starting. He's been starting some games this year.
Because everybody was hurt.
No, it's because rest.
Peyton was out. Clay was still in recovery. The players were out. Of course he's gonna start. The thing about it's almost like with Golden State. It reminds me of how Phil Jackson used to do. Like as a rookie, you almost have to go through if you're not coming in. And Kuminga played well, so that got him some more time. But as a rookie, if you're not coming in balling, you don't get no time, and you don't get any time. And I don't understand that. They have to play in order for you to see if they're any good. With your boy Wiseman, once I told you this before, once a big man gets hurt early in his career, it's trouble, man. I told you that early. I've told you that about several big men. Once they start getting hurt, because it's always the lower extremities. You know what I'm saying? It's the ankles, the knees. It's never anything. You never unless it's a shoulder only when they get fouled hard or something crazy like that. But just those big men is tough when they have those kind of injuries. I thought Embiid was gonna be that kind of guy before he finally started getting together as far as the injuries go. I think I don't know. Embiid sometimes he looks like he's overweight to me.
But he's not.
But then
he's kind of.
You look at him this year, and it looks like he's in shape to me more.
He is.
I think he said he changed
his diet. I think he went vegan or something.
Yeah, he changed his diet, and so I guess whatever.
I mean, if you got all that money, why not have the healthiest diet possible? You could pay a personal chef to make whatever you want.
And this is just off topic. I just thought about this now. It was a Toronto Blue Jays pitching coach he got pulled over for something. He got pulled over for a DUI, and it just makes me think. I know the pitching coaches make at least. He's going to at least make $400,000 a year, $500,000. Just saying. Who's still getting DUIs? With all of this, you got You got Uber, Lyft. You got all of this, all this means to get home, and you still getting DUIs, and you have a job that pays you more than $500,000 a year. Like, I don't know. I'll never understand it. Like, now the dude who I'm not gonna even diss nobody's job. That's why I'm not gonna use an example. But the dude who makes I don't even know what minimum wage is. Now, if you get a DUI compared to the guy, it's no comparison, really. But I guess the point is that when you have the opportunity to be blessed with a job where you're making that kind of money.
Well, you think you're untouchable?
I don't know. Just, every time I hear about DUI, that's just stupid to me. Especially the athletes who making like 15, 20 million. How are you getting a DUI? You can have anybody drive you home.
Yeah, Darius Slay tweeted something to all NFL players saying, man, it's off season coming up. We know we be partying, doing this and that. Please, Uber home, etc. Lived home. We know we can all afford
it. And the
limo, private driver, whatever.
And I'll tell you something else about. Well, we talked about alcohol, but I'll tell you something. Like the NFL is very lenient on marijuana now compared to how they used to be. Because you get suspended a bunch of games. The only time you get suspended a bunch of games now is when you keep failing like a dummy. Mm-hmm. Because now I'm not gonna. I mean, I personally don't know about as far as the pain goes. But it's not only athletes football players that smoke marijuana or whatever for pain. It's also older people. You know, they have pain. They use it for medicinal purposes or whatever. But I'm not condoning it, or it doesn't really matter. But the point that I'm making is that now the NFL is like cool on it. You know, they'll let you know, hey, we're giving you a test in 2 weeks. Make sure you pass it, kind of thing. That's how I feel like they do because they just can't fight it anymore. I think they had too many players that were
doing it.
Yeah. So
they can't legal in California, so you know why they're doing it.
Yeah. So California makes sure they get their hand out.
Yeah, California has the best.
They always have their hand out.
So I mean that's why.
And California saw how much money it was making, and they made sure that they put their hands in it as fast as they could. But yeah.
All right. I have a question for you. It's 4 teams in the East right now, all within either same record or a game, like half a game, less than half a game within one another.
Chicago's done.
Boston, Miami, Milwaukee, Philly.
Boston is so hot.
Boston has the number 1 seed right now.
I would not count them out for anything. They're on fire. I don't know what it is. We talked about them earlier in the season, how they stunk. And I told you I know they'll be better, but they stink right now. Mm-hmm. And I was all over Jason Tatum. I was all over him.
Killing him.
But, I mean, what can you say? I don't. You think I want them to win the championship ever? No. I want Celtics ever to win, but they're balling.
Boston has the number 1 seed. Started, if I'm looking right now, Miami and Boston are both 47 and 28. Milwaukee and Philly are both 46 and 28. So closing out the season, barring injury, of course.
Boston. I know your question. Who's going to be the number 1 seed? Yeah. Boston. They can't lose. They stomped over Minnesota today. They stomped them. That game was never close.
They won 6-0.
Like they'll win 6, 7, 8 games in a row, then lose a game. 6, 7. It reminds me of Phoenix. Like I don't know, but Miami. You told me. I told you that I don't like Miami, and you told me that you have to have some kind of love for Miami. I'll never understand.
I like because Derek Jones Jr. was on that team last year.
But this year, they started. They were number 1 seed they were holding it down for a second until Jimmy Butler got into it with Eric Spoelstra, whatever his name is.
Was that against us? That was against us.
Yes, because they were mad because they were losing to y'all. That team that was on
the floor. And keep in mind, we sat out Clay and Draymond that night.
And Steph was out.
And Steph, of course, has been out.
So ever since then, but see, this is I tell you this all the time, man. You tell me about Jimmy Butler, I tell you he sits out too many games. He's always hurt. I don't know if it's load management, but Jimmy Butler did say a long time ago that I'm going to retire at 32 years old. That's what he said. He said, I'm not going to be playing basketball for the rest of my life. I'm retired at 32 years old. That is something, I gotta remember the exact age, but I know it was either 32 or 33 that he said. That's what he said. He said this years ago. That's when he's going to retire. But the point I want to make about Jimmy, though, he does this every 3 years. Every team he's on, the third year he always loses it. Philly.
He was only with them for half
Yeah,
the season.
still, that's all it takes sometimes for certain teams. Philly.
He was only with
Minnesota.
that same for 1 year.
He did it with Chicago, too. He does this all the time, man. Like, the act is like worn out. The players, they don't want to hear all of that all the time. I mean, who was that? What did they say? Oh no, that was the Laker quote where Monk said that they always the vets are always on the young players. They're always on the young players' back for missed defensive assignments and stuff like that. But when they miss an assignment, it's like, oh, my bad. But when it's the rookies, they all up in their ear trying to talk to them and tell them like, do. But when you miss an assignment, it's just like, oh man, they got me. So I don't know. That's why I don't think Monk will resign because, well, no, he said now that makes him real close with Austin Reeves. So I like to resign Monk.
You got to pay him though. He's gonna get an increase. He ain't gonna sign no minimum again.
3 years, $30 million. All we give is $10 million contracts.
THT, great example. Where's THT? Is he hurt? You not playing or something?
Even when he's playing, he's not playing to me.
He
played. He actually. It doesn't matter. Everybody played good in the first half tonight against New Orleans, but New Orleans stinks. How can you? You shouldn't be losing to them. They stink to me.
Speaking of Jose, remember Jose Alvarado? You called me. They just signed him to a contract, a guaranteed contract.
They should have. They didn't even need him tonight. He's a good player. Jose Alvarado. So
I gave him a 4-year, 2-year guaranteed.
And he earned it. Balling. He was balling. So
that's good for him, man. So yeah, I mean, I only got one more question with basketball, and then I'm done.
Okay.
The whole thing. Will Bradley Beal re-sign that extension in the offseason with the Wizards?
That's a tough one. I say yes. You know the problem with Bradley Beal? All he wants to do is get paid. He doesn't care about winning.
Well, he's loyal. You see the loyalty.
So he doesn't care about winning. Dame doesn't care about winning. I don't care what people say. You resign.
Terrible teams like that.
And when
Portland was good when he hit that contract, though.
Dame says all the right stuff. He says all the right things. Like he doesn't want to be there. I don't care what anyone says. He don't want to be in Portland playing with Justice Winslow.
Well, he said nobody wants to play in Portland, so they can never get free agents.
Yeah, nobody wants to play there. He doesn't want to play there. They just happen to draft, I don't know, the draft, like, sometimes you just get lucky. Like, you don't know you don't know a dude's going to be this good when you draft him. You're like, okay, I hope he's a good, serviceable player. But you don't know they're going to be stars. So, they didn't know Dwayne Wade would be a star in Miami. So, like, it's just, they didn't know Steph would be a star.
Donovan Mitchell.
So,
Devin Booker.
Donovan's not a star. But
he's not a superstar. He's a star, though.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I like Donovan. But
Devin Booker. Nobody thought Devin Booker would be this good.
I did.
You saw him at Kentucky.
I thought he was small, but I said he's the kind of player that can wreck a game because he was good there too. He used to light it up. His mid range was good there too, and he was good from the three because the 3-pointer was closer. So
his mid range is nasty. It's so underrated. His mid range is underrated.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, you watch Steph's highlights his first 2 years. Steph's mid range was nasty. Right. And I don't mean nasty as in bad. I mean like he was pulling up all the mid ranges off the dribble.
I think people like we already put we already had the 3 MVPs like going down to the wire, and we forgot about Devin Booker because Chris Paul was on his team, and they had the best record. Yeah, we just kind of like threw him to the side a little bit, like he's having a great season, but no MVP. Like these last games, man,
he's been dominating.
I think he had 49 the other night.
Yeah, he did because I'm playing him in fantasy. I can tell
you man, he's killing it. The dude is killing it, and he's not only lighting it up. I mean, he's passing the ball. He's getting like 9 assists to go with it. Like he's balling, and we always want to say, like every time, like we know the Shaqs and the Kobes and the Shaq, Kobe, LeBrons. We know in some years we know that they're the MVP. Kobe should have had more MVPs.
More than one.
Now,
for
sure. Shaq should have had more MVPs. We know that these players should deserve the MVP, but you know what they do? They always say, hey, this team had the best record. That's why we gave it to this person. You know what I'm saying? But now, when it comes to Devin Booker, we don't say anything about records. Records don't matter now. Now, I know it's nobody. Giannis not getting another MVP right now.
If that's the case, then you got to go for the best record, best player every year. Best player, best team.
Giannis is not getting it. He dropped out to me. I dropped him out because people tired of seeing Giannis get MVP now, and they're not going to give it to him again. Now,
Embiid?
It's going to either be Embiid or
Jokic again.
Yeah. And me personally, I would give it to the Joker. I mean, look at his team.
That's what I was about to say. His team, man, and they still not even in the play-in.
Look at the team he's playing with, and they're fighting for 4, 5, 6 seed. Mm-hmm. Like they're trying to get it. Like he's a monster every night. There is not a night that he takes off. He's balling every single night. Embiid, I've seen him have boo-boo nights where he'll go 4 for 18, but it looks good because he's 14 out of 15 from the free throw line. And don't get me wrong, getting to the line, it works too when it comes to points, but it just makes your game look better than it was because you scored 19, 20 points. And Embiid's been playing, he's had a great season, but the Joker, he brings it every night.
With that
he's getting 25, 30 in the bag.
Not a good team.
He's getting 30 every night. If he doesn't score 25, except if they play against the Lakers, all he probably needs is 22, but 25,
15,
they're not winning if he doesn't score like that. Or if he's not scoring additional ball, they're not going to win. They have no shot at beating any team. So it's the Joker for me. It's the Joker for me all the way. Actually, that's not going to change. It's the Joker for me for MVP again. And he deserves it more this year than last year. And last year he had a monster season. So that's for me. That's it for me. I have my MVP.
I can say Jokic too. But I like Embiid up there.
Yeah.
He'll be the runner-up.
Well, you know what? You know why Embiid deserves to be neck and neck with him?
Because he was dominating before.
He was dominating, correct. And he held that team together when Ben Simmons was decided that he didn't want to play. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong with that dude.
Well, that's what you get for picking him in fantasy.
No, it's not even about fantasy. Like, I mean, it's whatever. The fantasy thing is over for me. It's not about that. It's more that, like, why trade for me then? Why trade for the dude if he's not going to play? I don't understand how you trade for a player that's not going to play. Why hasn't he played not one game?
So he's hurt.
Man, come on, man. I get tired. So he was hurt all that time that he was sitting out, not doing anything. Now all of a sudden he's hurt. I know why he's hurt. He's hurt mentally still. That's the issue. Physically hurt. And when did he hurt his back? When?
Practice. I don't know, man. These players, they make a lot of money.
When did he hurt his back? I have no idea when he got hurt. Like, you haven't played a game. You haven't practiced. You weren't practicing with the 76ers. When you get hurt, dude, nobody want to ask any questions about Ben Simmons because they don't care. Because they want to see KD and happy that the Kyrie get to play every game. So,
shout out to Kyrie, man. I mean, he didn't force it. Just did what he had to do, man. So
Hey, I'm with it. Stick to what you believe. Like you don't have to do anything just because the media tells you to do it. Just because
the government's trying to make you do it. Man.
Just
we're all,
do what you
we're
do.
all our own people, so I respect that.
I respect that. So
good for him. Glad to see him back playing in his hometown.
Kyrie, he got his offensive game. He got it all in the bag. There's nothing he can't do, man. I've just seeing him live. I know he had a bad game tonight, or he was having a bad game at least, but his offensive game is supreme. There is nothing he can't do on the court. And he drives to the bucket. He drives to the bucket better than any point guard in basketball.
All right. I know I said I have one more thing. I mean, that was my last thing. But I'm going to just, we're about to hit it. We're on 55 minutes now. Getting close to an hour again. I'm going to finish off with this. And I don't know if it's because I'm biased.
Yeah. I already know where this is going.
Yeah. Steph or Kyrie?
When? For what?
Right now.
The player I would take?
Who's better, and who would you build your team with?
First of all, I'm building my team with Steph because Steph is a team first player.
Okay.
He's not going to just take off in the middle of the season and everybody wondering where the hell you are. Like, that's crazy to me. Okay. So, and Kyrie's not dependable as far as, like, playing. Like, if he's not hurt, it's something mentally. If it's not mentally, it's like, oh, I can't play because the earth is flat today. I'm not playing. Like, he's just weird, dude.
Okay.
Like,
it's weird. That's why James Harden had a few with him, too. Who's better to you?
Kyrie or Steph?
Yes. Because I've had this debate with so many people.
No, that's
and now they're around the same to me, but it's just one thing that it makes Steph better.
Now, if we're going on the court. Now, we're not going to debate shooting. That's not a debate. We know who the best shooter is.
I'm talking about overall, though.
But if we're going overall, like, and we're not talking about, don't say nothing about defense.
What? That's a part of the game.
Yeah, but that's what you want to try to bring up. Steph does not have defense like that where we're like, oh, look at Steph D'ing him up. And he's not, he's average. Kyrie is below average defensively. If we're going on numbers, Kyrie defensively is a 4. If we're going on numbers, Steph defense is a 5.491. So
6.5 for Steph.
But Kyrie, you know what they say, he's in the back. Kyrie it's nothing that he can't do on the court. Kyrie is a better offensive player to me than Steph is. There's nothing he can't do. The defense, yes, the defense would make him, if you going overall and just the makeup of the type of player that he is, Steph is the better player overall because it's different. There are other things other than just being a great player. Like, you have to be available. You have to be mentally there. You have to have your teammates want to get on your back and follow you. And like, there are things, those are important things to me. So, Steph, yes. But if we just saying who's the better offensive players, just straight up, who's better on the court? Kyrie.
I respect that. All right, fine.
So, yeah, it's just a different way of answering the questions. It's depending on how the question's asked or what is asked in the question. What are you asking me? Now, if you're asking me like I said, it's Steph. I mean, is Steph the better shooter? We know that. Steph's the better teammate. Steph's the more reliable teammate, just injuries aside.
Yeah, has better defense.
But also has better defense. Passes the ball better.
But everything else Kyrie does.
But if we're saying offense, like
handles,
finishes, getting to the bucket.
That's the best finisher I've ever seen. I'll say that.
Kyrie,
best finisher around the rim I've ever seen.
He makes shots that shouldn't be made over there. So
at his height though, at 6'1", 6'2".
Now Ja getting in that bag too. Ja's starting to get real nasty when that floater is on point. And like I think KD real quick just was like saying something about how great he is. Mm-hmm. And when you can jump like him and get to the basket like him, when you got that floater, that's the key almost to success early in a young player's career. Is when you get that floater going, you tough. That floater, Ja's nice. But that's it.
That's all I got, man. Man, yeah, it's been a lot. We talked about, Chris, about to hit an hour just about. But Appreciate y'all tuning in for episode 2 live of the live episode of John&son podcast.
Sir, where's Do Not Disturb on a person's phone? Just forget it. Go on.
But yeah, that's all we got, man. We will see y'all next week. Thank you for tuning in. Autobots out.